G'day folks, what is going on? It's Jacob. So as promised, I wanted to hook you up with this template that you can use. It's one page currently, but when you populate it, it'll probably end up being two, maybe sometimes 3 pages. Typically it ends up about 2 for us. I'll put a link below this Loom so that you can open this up and then just make a copy of it for yourself, and you can go and use it as you see fit. Obviously you'll need to change, we've got the name of our company and stuff in here. You're going to need to make it relevant to you so that you can go and deploy it. But we've used this to great effect. We've used this for offers in the 4-figure range, offers in the 5-figure, multi-5-figure, all the way up to 50 grand. Using this really, really simple template, okay? And there's a couple of key things that I want to get across in sharing this with you. The first is, you obviously hear me talk a lot about selling these deals without getting on the phone, okay? And what a lot of people think is that there's some huge magic in the DM conversation, or there's some huge magic in the offer document itself, okay? And look, I'll raise my hand and say we do some really cool shit in the DMs, and we do some really cool shit when it comes to creating the offers, particularly in how do you structure up the offer the right way, and how do you make it something that people really, really want. But the big secret, right, that I really want to get across to you is that, and this applies for any sales process, if you want to be able to sell things faster, quicker, easier, it's dependent on the strength of the relationship with the prospect who ultimately you have the DM conversation with, or who sees the offer, right? And so the reason we're able to sell, 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 deals with a 1 or 2 page PDF is because people come through our ecosystem, they have a really good experience. Maybe they even potentially buy a front-end program and get a good result with it. But regardless of if they do that or not, they get immersed and they consume. They might watch a YouTube video. They might receive a free resource like this one that you're currently receiving. They might read the post in my group. They see the testimonials. They might follow me on my profile and see kind of the way I live and what my business has done for me. And they might want that as well. They might read emails. They might see an interview that I do. There's this whole ecosystem, right, that people can move around in and consume at their own speed, be it video, written, audio, it could be a lower ticket purchase. And ultimately, that builds the foundation of a really, really strong relationship, such that when they are ready to move forward on one of our higher end programs, they know me really well. They know that I know my stuff. They know my story, they know my experience, they know our results, all that kind of stuff. They know our approach, our methodology, our philosophies, all those kind of things. They're fully aware of them because they've been consuming for weeks or months, and they don't need a 45-minute call with myself or someone on the team in order to hear all that stuff again. They just need to know what the offer is and how they can work with me, right? And we use this in a case where maybe there's not a perfect fit into one of our evergreen programs. Obviously, I've got my inner circle. We have a set document that we use for that because it's the same for every person that kind of goes through. But if there's situations where we want to really tailor an offer, and that's why it's typically the bigger ticket stuff. If we really want to tailor an offer to an individual, we'll use this. And so that's kind of a bit of an insight into how this stuff works, and the big tip behind being able to sell without getting on sales calls. And if you want to go deeper on that, hit up my YouTube channel. There's lots of content over there that goes deeper on that topic. And obviously get in touch if you want to work with us on being able to close $3,000 to $50,000 deals without getting on the phone and really building out that ecosystem and everything that kind of goes into that. But more particularly on this, the key element is this first section here. Okay, so let's just walk through the document, right? Custom offer for client name. Set out herein is a custom offer from you to the client for whatever the services are related to the outcome that they want to achieve, okay? Pretty simple. Then you're going to list out the primary goals, okay? And I'm going to talk through that more in detail in a second. You're going to list out the stuff that they're going to get. So this is deliverables, inclusions, whatever you want to call them. This is like, you're going to get access to this course, or you're going to get access to this many calls, or be that with you or the team or group calls or whatever. And you can, put as much stuff in there as you like. Bonuses could be digital, bonuses could be physical. You could include a day of, in-person consulting. You can take this as far as you want to take it, is what I'm trying to say to you. So really stack up the value in here. Then you simply outline the investment. If there's payment terms, you can put them in there as well, right? So you could have a pay in full option or a payment plan option, right? You want to outline any refund terms, and then outline, at the conclusion of this, we'll present you a new offer to extend, or we'll move over to this, or we can explore this. So you kind of start pre-selling the next thing as well. And then you simply tell them the next steps, right? If you're ready to go, just reply back to me in Messenger with "I'm in," and once we receive that, we'll send you over the details. Okay. So these last few parts are pretty simple and pretty straightforward. Obviously, there's some art and science to making a really sexy offer when it comes to inclusions and deliverables. But the key thing is up here. Okay, and this really goes down in the DMs. Okay, populate based on collaborative closing, aka selling the plan. So the key thing is you want to have a conversation with people about exactly where they're at, exactly what they want to do, their current roadblocks and hurdles. That's a fairly standard conversation framework. But the key thing that you want to really get on the table in the DMs is a list of things that you're going to work on together. And you go back and forth on that and say, so they might say, I really want to achieve A, B, C, and D. Okay. And then you can interpret that. You can add, any experience-based advice based on what they want to achieve. And you could go back and say, that's perfect. We can definitely help with that. Typically what we see with clients who want to achieve A, B, C, and D is they're also going to want to tackle Z, Y, X, right? Is that something that you're interested in doing? Is there anything else? And you go back and forth on this list, right? Until you really nail down a list of typically 5 to 7 things that they really want to accomplish. And these could be directly in relation to, say, their business, but it could also be bigger picture stuff, right? Like it could be, I want to get my business to X point so that I can travel, I can move countries, whatever. It's about creating a vision of the pains that we're going to help them move away from and the goals that we're going to help them achieve. And so we create this list together and we agree on it. And so in the DMs, you might say, okay, so, let me confirm, you really want to, and then you'll restate the list back to them. Is that everything or is there anything else? And what you're really looking for is buy-in that list of things that they want to accomplish, that's it. And typically, here's a little hack for you, a little pro tip, is typically if they come back and they say yes and there's a big exclamation mark, you're really, really close, right? Like you're on the money. And obviously this needs to be, this goes without saying, I shouldn't need to say this, but I probably do. This needs to be in the wheelhouse of stuff that you can actually help with. Okay, so you're collaborating, hence the name, collaborative closing, on what it is that you're going to tackle together, the big things that they want to overcome, the challenges they want to move past, the pains that they want to move away from, the goals that they want to achieve, and you're coming up with this list, right? And then here's the really cool part about this framework, and this may seem so simple, but it fucking crushes it. You simply bring that information and dump it in here, tidy it up a little bit with a bit of copy flair. I've said here, so you can. This is a great little copywriting hack. If they say, I want to do X, Y, Z, so you can, you bring it back to the ultimate outcome. Okay, so we always want to be bringing things back to the ultimate outcome. People don't want leads. They want leads so they can make sales. And then they don't even really want sales. They want sales so they can have cash in the bank so that they can. And so we want to keep bringing it back to the ultimate outcome. But what we're doing in going back and forth with them in the conversation is they're basically writing the copy for us, right? And so all we have to do is bring it in here, clean it up. Then based on your experience of, okay, well, if this person wants to achieve these things, I would recommend that they have access to A, B, C, D, this much support. I'm going to put them into this program. I'm going to put them into this program. They're going to do this one-to-one, whatever it looks like. Then, it's up to you to put the relevant price tag on it, payment terms that you want to put, and that's it, right? In the conversation, once you've agreed that list, you can say, look, leave it with me for an hour or two. I'm going to pull something together based on what we've spoken about, and I'll send it over to you. Go away, pull this together, drop them back a message and say, hey, I've got a 2-page PDF that I think is a perfect fit based on what we've spoken about. Are you happy for me to drop that over? Then I'm happy to field any questions for you based on what you read. You send it over. They might ask you a couple of questions. You close the deal. You send the payment link. Done and dusted, right? So 2 key elements. 1, the relationship that comes before, and that's going to be driven based on your content. That's going to be driven based on the conversation that you've had with them, right? Obviously, we want to lean more on the content because it's more leveraged. And 2, really going back and forth and collaborating with them on what it is that they want to achieve. Make sure that's in your wheelhouse in terms of what you can actually help people with. And then you bring that in here, you tidy it up a little bit, send over the document, put your best foot forward in terms of inclusions, deliverables, price, payment plans, guarantees if you want to go down that path, all that kind of jazz, and close the deal. All right. I hope this is helpful. Go take this and use it. It seems simple, really, really powerful. This has made us hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Probably, if you combine all of our clients' results, it's in the millions. Really, really potent little document. Go use it, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.